Hey, it's time to dream on it. Come on, let's dream on it. We all gotta start somewhere. So why don't you just dream on it? Do your thing, let's dream on it. It ain't no shame, you can dream on it. Cause we all gotta start somewhere.
What they say, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
It's junior year, spring 24 semester, season 3, Dream on Air with DeAndrea feature. Ring all my special guests, thank you for stopping by the show. I really appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel at Content by DeAndrea for all the newest episodes. Make sure you check out all my music too. It's Dream on Air with DeAndrea. Thanks for staying tuned. Woo. Hey, I got a new episode just for you. Subscribe to my channel. And this all started as a dream on air, yeah, and now we here. Hey, thank y'all, God bless y'all. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Dream on Air with DeAndrea. I'm so excited to be embarking on season 3, y'all. Oh my gosh. And look, we're digital, we live, and I have a very special guest joining me today too. Y'all, I have none other than Miss Renee Thompson from Houston, Texas. Well, originally from Cali, but we're gonna get into that. And I just want y'all to give her a warm welcome. How you doing today, Miss Renee?
I'm doing quite well. I am a blessed woman.
You are. You're very blessed. You're very highly favored.
Thank you.
And you're very welcome here. Thank you so much for joining us.
You.
Yes, ma'am. So, Miss Renee, I heard of something called Thankful Thursdays. What's that? What's that about?
That is my joy. I was telling God that I'm living on His promise. Mm-hmm. And He promised me that I was the head and not the tail. Mm-hmm. And that I would be the lender, not the borrower. And I believe in all of His promises. However, because I'm His daughter, I'm calling Him on those promises. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm tired of being broke. And He said, well, you might want to invest in yourself with your gifts and talents. That was a duh moment. Well, duh. Mm-hmm. And so, since cooking is my passion, that's what brings me peace. I can cook for like 200 people by myself easily. I don't want to eat it. I just want to make it. And then I want to hear what they have to say about it. It was good, or I hated that, or whatever. And the people who hated that, I'm never going to feed them again. And then, it just gives me joy. So I started whining to God about I'm tired of being broke. And so it was actually Thursday. It was a Thursday. And He said, well, what about thankful? And I thought, all this whining, you are right. I should be more thankful, more gracious, more trusting. Mm-hmm. So then as I'm listening, He's talking to me about plates. When I look at a plate in my mind, it should have this, this, and this. So then I go home and I make all of that and then make the plates. So I asked Him about this Thankful Thursday and how much should the plate cost. Mm-hmm. At that time, He said, all I asked for is 10%. So I thought, that's easy. Mm-hmm. I'll make each plate $10. So the first week, I only got like maybe 10, 12. Mm-hmm. But the second week I had 20. The third week I had 25. Then I got a side order to make pound cake. Then I got a side order to do banana pudding. Then I got a side order. Then I got a side order. Then I got a side order. My business is doing quite well, actually. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that I deliver in the med center on Thursdays, on the actual day. But I have my patients who live on the north side, and I deliver to them on Friday. And they're just as excited as they can be, because it's home cooked, scratch. You get everything, and I make the desserts to go with it. What's the meal without a dessert? So
once again, she's a chef for real.
So,
Yes, I love hearing about that. And so, y'all, she brought her business cards along. They look very nice. We're going to give a close up, as the show goes on. I got to plug that in there. But so the name of her catering service is called the Blessed Cook. And so what inspired the name? What inspired you to come up with that name for your business?
one, I am truly the most blessed woman I know. The favor over my life is amazing to me. And so, like I said, I'm praying when I'm preparing the food. So I'm already going to bless it. Even if you don't, I am. And so my prayer over every meal is that those who partake in it, whomever it is, would be nourished and feel your presence immediately and act accordingly. It comes in 3 parts. My daddy does everything in 3s. He rose in 3 days. He walked for 3 days. He does everything in 3s. So I'm paying attention. I want to walk like him. So the name of my business is The Blessed Cook. And my email address is onefavoredchild@gmail.com. That's because I am a favored child. I've had the same email since they gave them out in 2000. I have the same phone number. Text me. All you have to do is text me and tell me what you would like me to prepare. I will respond to a text. I don't do so well with the phone ring because then,
Me either.
But I do well with text or email.
Yeah, so y'all be mindful. Every Thursday, Miss Renee does Thankful Thursdays. You guys can put an order in with her. She makes all types of meals. And speaking of meals, so what is your favorite type of meal to make?
My favorite is chicken and spinach enchiladas with charro pinto beans and Spanish rice. I love to make them because I can just make them and it's almost mindless. I just start getting into it. I use fresh spinach. I use chicken breast and thighs, skinless, boneless. I take my time with this. It's a process building. That's why I know I've built this with love. Yeah. And so I like that.
Yes, ma'am. So, Miss Renee, I see you sitting to my left, huh? But how did you get here? Like, what was your journey like getting here?
God changed my life and moved me to Texas. I thought he was kidding, but then 2 weeks later, I was on a train coming to Texas. I didn't know anybody here.
Wow.
I had never been to Houston.
Wow.
So you learn to listen to God's direction, and I have done nothing but benefit.
Yes, ma'am. So, Miss Renee, you mentioned how you moved from Cali to Texas. You didn't know that you was coming. You didn't know, but you just knew you had to be here.
Yes.
So what was that like, taking that big leap of faith to do something that you've never done before?
It was petrifying and exciting all at the same time. I mean, you buy the ticket, it's like, okay. Then it's actual time and the doors open, you get on the train and you're like, WTF? And so then after like 3 or 4 Jack Daniels, you calm down and enjoy the ride.
Wow. So
it was 3 days and 2 nights. But what the lesson in that was, God will separate his. He will separate you from others so that you can learn to hear his voice. And when you trust and depend on him, it becomes a regular conversation. And not all on your part. You do a lot of listening as well as conversating because you're having a relationship, which controls all your other relationships, even with food.
And speaking of food, what did you bring with you?
So I had the joy of preparing salmon dip in a sourdough bowl. And this is my own recipe. And to accompany it, I brought cucumbers and wheat crackers, celery, and the sourdough bread that was on the inside. And I cannot wait for you guys to try it.
Look, I can't wait to try it either.
Because according to someone pretty close to me, it's addicting. So yeah.
So what led you to make salmon dip? So what was it about the salmon dip that said, you know what, today this is what we're gonna make?
It's Palm Sunday. And there is no one that I know that doesn't eat some type of seafood. At this point, everybody's shying away from pork this or beef that, or they're so sick of chicken they got feathers. So I smoked some salmon just to try it out a little while ago and froze it. And then I got some more salmon, I mixed the two, and I thought, you know what? This will taste good with this or that or this or that. And I finished mixing it up. Ta-da.
And it's a beautiful, and this is how you know she cooked for real, for real. Y'all see how she has a nice setup for us? Like, come on, she got the nice utensils to use. Like, I feel so special. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for even being willing to make this for us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and then the fact that you put so much intention into what you're doing. Like, you're not just in a cooking. Like, there's intention behind what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because when whomever it was that trusted me enough to pay for a plate from me, I need to know that when they open it, their eyes are just as happy as their mouth is about to be. I need to know that that's happening.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And the reason why I wanted to highlight that is because it's like whenever you're doing something that you love to do, it's important to put your all into it, to have that care with it. And like Miss Renee, you mentioned how Thankful Thursdays came about in your latter years, right? But it's like cooking is something that she's done for years before. But it's like once you prayed and you involved God, and once you actually took the steps that He gave you, you're like, you know what? You're right. He told you needed a 10. That's all He asked for. And it's like you got serious about it. She got business cards made. She spread the word about her business. And when was that moment that, it finally hit you like, wow, like this is something.
Let me make you laugh. Okay, I have a PT Cruiser. It's a 2004 PT Cruiser, and I love it because God gave me that car. After having all these fancy cars and all that, I ended up with this PT Cruiser. So when you open the trunk of my PT Cruiser, there's a shelf there, so you could put food here, you could put food here, then I got the whole back seat. The front seat lays down and turns into a desk.
Wow.
I mean, they don't even make that anymore. So I'm going to get my oil changed. Like, I get my oil changed at Take 5 on Holcomb. Why? Because the brothers over there look like me. They talk to me like I'm their mama, and that means with respect and take your time and blah, 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 and don't play with me because you ain't gonna like it. That kind of thing. So I'm telling these boys, they're like you guys' age. I had some trail mix. I told him, I said, look, I make this trail mix. You can't just buy it anywhere. It costs $10 a bag, but you'll understand why. He said, well, maybe later. I said, well, you guys look like hungry Negroes to me. I said, are you guys hungry? The other one started laughing. He said, man, we're always hungry. So I said, okay, I'll tell you what. If you buy my trail mix, I'll bring you guys lunch right now. And they're like, for real? I said, for real, for real. I went home because I had just barbecued. So I barbecued ribs, sausage. I don't know how to do a little bit, so I do the whole thing. So I did all that. I did the potato salad to go with it. I did everything. But I'm not finna eat all that. I just want to make it. So now I made up 3 man-sized plates. I mean, they got everything. And all I charged them for was 3 bags of trail mix. Here's your trail mix, but here's your lunch. And I'm finna stand right here until you at least taste my potato salad. The man said, Miss Renee, you're going to do this every Thursday? I said, I'm not going to give you your meal every Thursday. Every Thursday I will drop you off however many plates you order. I said, no matter what I'm making, the plate is going to cost the same. Well, that was good for January and February, and I kind of struggled with March. So when I was talking to my daddy about it, and he said, okay, I asked for a 10. You need more than this to contain that. So I want to be fair because so many people are ordering from me, so I'm changing the price from $10 to $13, but you can get 2 plates for $25. And I'm still going to bring it to you. So that beats Uber, that beats McDonald's, that beats, pick somebody, that beats all of them.
It does, and it's homemade too.
Yeah.
Made with love.
Yeah.
Y'all make sure y'all book with Miss Renee on Thankful Thursdays.
I was thanking my daddy this morning for the fact that at this age, the energy that he gives me makes me laugh. It was like, dang, where'd that come from? You know, or he has taught me how to roll it back. Renee, could you roll it back? Don't stab them repeatedly. Just jig them one time and let that be that. But so I have calmed down considerably. Somebody told me I was bossy. I am.
Talk about that, please.
I am. I know I am. But then, every boss has got a boss to answer to. And my boss told me, first of all, I'm going to need you to sit down. Second, I'm going to need you to take your hand off of that wheel over there because it ain't yours. Your wheel is over here, and if you don't want to wreck the car, keep them on over here. And mind your own business. Try that. Try mind your own business. So that like all these, as he's whooping my tail, okay, I surrender. When you learn to surrender, you'd be amazed at the things that fall in your lap. Then you can be as bossy as you want because your boss is pushing you. Then, as long as you know that's his hand on your back, you good to go. So God is the nucleus, not of my life, but of me. Of me. I try to carry his life. I try to walk his walk. I reach out to people who have lost the hope in their eyes. I had 2 benches put on my front porch so people could sit down, because sometimes you need to sit down so you can catch up with yourself. And I can't talk to you about God if your stomach is louder than my voice. And my voice is soft. And I'm little. So, you know. So I'm going to go in here and make you a peanut butter sandwich because it's kind of thick. And while you're chewing that, that means now your mouth don't work, but your ears are working, which gives me the opportunity, like Double Dutch, to jump in there and tell you what he did for me, because I was you 20-something years ago. Not exactly. I would have never worn that, but I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I am no better than anyone. How are you going to be mad at somebody because they sin different than you? Because we're all sinners. All. So all you can do is show kindness at every opportunity, even when they're being You don't need with them too. That's ugly. How can you show God's light if you're going to act like that? So it's constantly be in check on yourself. The biggest word in your vocabulary should be these 2 words. I am. I am successful. I am God's daughter. I am compassionate. I am calm. I am. Because he is the great I am. And everything that you say, you embody that. So you be careful with your I ams. I am PO'd. I am, you don't speak the non-positives into the air while you carrying your daddy's robe. Because he put his righteous right robe on you this morning. Yeah?
Yeah. Miss Renee, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. So I have one more question for you before we leave.
Of course.
So for my generation, for the students who are like getting into the habit of pursuing our dreams, what advice would you give us for keeping God involved in our steps of pursuing our dreams?
My daddy said, knock on the door and he will answer. I would knock until my knuckles were bloody because I need every breath he gives me, every step he gives me. So stay on your knees. That's your position of power. Your power happens on your knees because you are surrendering to his will. And his will is for you to do well. His will is for you to be healthy. His will is for you to be prosperous. His will is that no harm would ever come to you. His will is that you stay in his will so that he can get the glory for all the wonderful things that are coming your way. So I'm not kidding with you when I say, don't be narrow-minded, because your daddy thinks big. Don't be narrow-minded. Make sure that you stretch your stakes out as far as you can get them, because the blessings that he has for you, you cannot measure them. Your tent isn't going to be able to hold it. Plus, I'm going to need you to come over.
Yes, definitely got to come and visit.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, y'all. Well, that has been another episode of Dream on Air with DeAndrea. Thank you so much for joining me
My
today,
pleasure.
Miss Renee.
My
It's a
pleasure.
pleasure having you.
My
It's a pleasure
pleasure.
having you. All right, y'all stay tuned. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Stay out of that mess. Don't be stressed, and everything gonna be all right. We'll holla.
Amen.
Bye, y'all. It's junior year, spring 24th semester, season 3, Dream on Air with DeAndrea feature. Ring on my special guest, thank you for stopping by the show, I really appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel at Content by DeAndrea for all the newest episodes. Make sure you check out all my music too. It's Dream on Air with DeAndrea. Thanks for staying tuned. Ooh. Hey, I got a new episode just for you.